Planet Dolan.
From a bear in the schoolyard to glue on crackers, the Planet Dolan crew reenacts some of the best true stories from our subreddit about the strangest things we've seen happen at school. My name is Nixium, and today I'll be your narrator. Number 10 was submitted by fleeplz. Talop was in 8th grade and was on the way to use the restroom. It was the day before election, and everybody was going crazy about the 2016 presidential candidates. So, when he walked into the hall and was just about to enter the restroom, Talop saw a student in a Donald Trump mask. And if that wasn't weird enough, he slowly moved his head to look at Talop and then ran off with his arms behind his back like Naruto and continued to stare at Talop the entire time as he ran away. Number 9 was submitted by Tonere. There was a teacher at Dolan's school who taught geography and PE and was known for being a bit mad. She once slapped the butt of a girl who was doing push-ups, and Dolan was lucky enough to have her for PE. One morning, Dolan and his friend Ghost Toast were chatting in the locker room before class, and the teacher swooped in and said, "I had a dream about you two boys last night." She then described the dream. They were obviously horrified, so she said, "What are you looking at me like that for?" "I'm just trying to make a friendly conversation." Dolan and Ghost Toast awkwardly laughed and tried to get away, but she started cackling and slapped Dolan on the back. He made an excuse to leave, and he ran away as fast as he could. Number 8 was submitted by Dasazia. During a normal day at high school, Doopy was at her locker and had her earphones in, listening to Hate It, Huge Ego. Suddenly, she heard a familiar tune that wasn't on her MP3. It was a 12th grader with what looked like a rolling suitcase with a glowing disco ball flashing pink, blue, and green, and playing Hey Hey, You, I Can Be Your Girlfriend as he went down the hallway. A few days later, Doopy's boyfriend and his 2 other friends were having lunch in the cafeteria. Doopy was at her locker, but when she got back to the cafeteria, the same guy was up on a table, blasting music and dancing while disco lights were flashing. Her boyfriend was trying to sleep, and he hated disco music. And you know what? The 12th grader didn't get in trouble. Number 7 was submitted by Lucky Mine Canary. 2nd grade, snack time. Melissa was enjoying her milk when she noticed something strange. Her best friend Gooby was putting paste all over her crackers. Melissa thought she was just being silly and laughed until Gooby took a big bite, chewed, and swallowed triumphantly. Melissa yelled for the teacher.
"My friend is eating glue! She's gonna die!"
The teacher ran over, took one look at her cracker crumb and glue-smeared face, and snatched up the bottle. He quickly read over all the ingredients and warning labels, but Gooby continued to chew. Melissa was surprised when her teacher just shrugged, placed the glue back on the table, and said, "Non-toxic." Gooby plopped another glue cracker sandwich into her mouth and grinned at Melissa. The teacher just patted her on the head and went back to his desk. "Just don't throw up, sweetie. We're having biscuits and gravy for lunch." Number 6 was submitted by RocketSurgery950. When Zaragamba was in 8th grade, he would volunteer to walk to his school's elementary building to help teachers with their classes, but he had to cut through the high school parking lot to get to the elementary building. One day, while he was walking over, the whole parking lot was blocked off by police tape, and there were ambulances, fire trucks, and 2 very mangled cars. As he tried to get around the blocked-off area, Zara wondered,
how the heck does a crash like this happen in a parking lot?
That was when he noticed his brother being pulled out from one of the cars and put into an ambulance. A few traumatizing moments later, Zaragamba ran into Danger Dolan, alive and well. Dolan explained that every year before prom, the local fire department volunteers would collaborate with the school and host a fake car crash, raising awareness for drunk driving. 4 years later, before his prom, Zaragamba got to reenact the exact same fake crash. Number 5 was submitted by Heatherfeathersong. At recess, when Shima was in 5th grade, she heard the supervisor blow her whistle, getting everyone's attention. She pointed and screamed, "Bear!" in the distance. Shima could see a black bear coming from the woods. Everyone rushed into the school as fast as they could. The bear hung around, and they were kept on lockdown as it sniffed at the doors. When the authorities came, it had already gone back into the woods. Shima's teacher had asked why they thought a bear came so close, since normally they would steer away. Shima remembered reading a book where animals will behave oddly when sensing some kind of danger, so she answered that it could be the Mount St. Helens volcano nearby. The teacher doubted it, of course, but told Shima, "If anything like that happens tomorrow, I will give you 100 extra credit points in whatever subject, and the next day 50. The day after the next, the same supervisor blew her whistle after hearing over the intercom that Mount St. Helens had activated a bit. So Shima got 50 extra credit points. The kids were even cheering. Shima gets 50 points. Shima gets 50 points. Number 4 was submitted by Dumbass Dragon 666. When Spinal Palm was a sophomore in high school, his English class was preparing for mock job interviews. The teacher was describing the proper way to shake someone's hand and kept saying, "In, pump 3 times, and out." Another teacher then popped his head into the classroom and said, "Stop describing my college life." The whole class lost it. Number 3 was submitted by tefypzofes. Yeah. When Kyle M. was in 8th grade, about halfway through the year, someone began vandalizing the bathrooms. Some kid was apparently shoving granola bars into the toilets. This actually broke most of the toilets and occurred in every bathroom. The teachers were positive that it was a boy in Kyle's class, although there wasn't any proof. They questioned every single dude in the classroom, but nobody admitted to it. About a week later, it was still going on. When Kyle went to the bathroom, he saw a little 6th grade girl in a bunny hoodie in the guy's bathroom. She ran out of the stall with an evil glare on her face and scared the crap out of him. Kyle went into the stall, and it was overflowing with granola bars. So, the little bunny girl was the culprit all along. We should have known. Number 2 was submitted by the Completionist. During lunchtime in Pandora's junior year of high school, she was sent to the nurse's office for coughing a little too much. While walking there, she saw a group of 3 well-known delinquents stripping to their undergarments. They then proceeded to hop over the fence to the front of the school, only to meet some guy in a Toyota dressed in a panda costume. Pandora could only wonder what was going on in their minds. And number 1 was submitted by me. My school experience was pretty normal, but there was this one kid I remember who always freaked me out. My friends and I referred to him as the Pacing Kid. After eating lunch every day, Pacing Kid would always walk outside the cafeteria, and he would just pace and pace and pace. He would walk back and forth between a trash can and a water fountain, about a 10-foot gap if I had to guess. While pacing in this spot, he would whisper to himself quietly in words that nobody could understand, leading some to speculate that Pacing Kid was attempting to summon Satan to destroy the school. And the worst part is, in my last English class in high school, Pacing Kid sat right behind me in the very back, and even during class, his maddening whispers would continue. Alright, so a huge thanks to the folks over at our Planet Dolan subreddit for submitting their stories. But we have another question for you. What is the worst time you have ever popped a boner? Let us know in the Reddit page linked below, and you might be featured in a future countdown.
Then she looked back and saw him fully naked, taking a dump on the floor and then rubbing his ass on the seat. She just stopped and stared, and the guy looked at everyone and screamed, "What the fuck are you staring at, bitch? Can't you see I'm having a conversation here?"